Touch me.
An explosive outburst in the courtroom from an 11-year-old boy charged with bringing weapons to a Vancouver school in an alleged plot to kill classmates. Now prosecutors are saying that plan was bigger than first thought. It's 5:30. Good evening, everyone. I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Jenny Hansen. That outburst happened after a judge ruled that boy will not be released from jail. Chris Holmstrom is live in Vancouver with the latest developments. Chris?
You know, we're learning according to these court documents, we're learning that kid had plans to kill 2 different students on that school. And also, a week before he was arrested, he brought those weapons to school. But fortunately, school leaders found them before he was able to do anything.
Touch me. Touch me. Get the up.
Outburst in court today after the court commissioner made a decision to keep the 11-year-old locked up in juvenile court. Prosecutors today say the boy had brought the gun to school 2 times before it was discovered, and they say he was planning to shoot several people after school that day, not just the one other student as previously mentioned.
You know, those issues are not going to go away. I see him as a risk to himself. I see him as a risk to others.
An evaluation determined he does suffer from mental health issues, including suicidal thoughts.
He has had a long history of behavior outbursts. I think that based on parent report and clinical reports, these outbursts have increased in the last year.
The defense attorney asked to have his client released and put on house arrest. He says the family has put alarms on all the doors and windows and that the 6th grader has never harmed a family member.
If the court releases him, there are a number of fail-safes to make sure that this young man doesn't have a reoccurrence of the prior offense.
And the 11-year-old is expected back in court on November 12th. Reporting live from Vancouver, I'm Chris Holmstrom, KOIN 6 News.
Chris, thanks. Fire investigators trying to figure out what started a deadly fire in Battleground. They found a woman's body inside a home at the Battleground Mobile Estates. Now, right now, we don't know if it was the fire that caused her death or if she died prior to it. And we're also working to learn her name.
Well, a 65-year-old man is suffering from serious injuries after being hit by a car. Police say he was using a walker to cross Mill Plain Road in Vancouver last night when he was hit. He was in a crosswalk at the time. Now, the driver of the car took off. Witnesses say that car is a gray sedan, possibly an import, and it likely has damage to the right front end. Anyone with information on who that driver might be should call Vancouver police.
At this hour, crews still working to repair a 100-year-old water pipe that ruptured, causing a massive water main break in downtown. That pipe burst just before 1 this morning, and work is going to continue overnight tonight. At this hour, the eastbound lane of Burnside near 4th still closed, and that's a busy area. The northbound lanes of Southwest 4th also closed at Burnside and Ankeny. And crews hope to have everything back open tomorrow morning. But for businesses in that area, and there's lots of them, it was a day of work lost. Brent Weisberg has more.
It's going to be a big impact on today's business because we won't be able to open for lunch.
The dining room at Portland Prime is empty.
Portland Prime caters to a lot of the downtown businesses.
The silverware is polished and ready, but through the window you can see the men working outside.
We won't stop until we're done.
Early this morning, a 24-inch diameter cast iron pipe installed in 1913 ruptured.
24-inch main carries a lot of water.
So much water, it sent about 4 feet of it gushing into the basement of the Embassy Suites.
We had water that was overwhelming the storm drains.
The water knocked out power and even fried the backup generators.
So right now the power's still out.
Warren Becker owns the Blue Collar Bakery.
I'm a business that survives with local clientele coming in here.
Like Portland Prime, his business is on the street level of the hotel, which means they too are without power.
We're going to start throwing everything in the coolers out, and we've got thousands and thousands of dollars worth of product we have to throw out.
It's better to be safe than sorry, so you just discard it.
It's literally throwing money in the garbage can, or in this case, down the drain.
And when they see my doors closed, they'll just go across the street to my competitor.
In a market as competitive as Portland, every penny counts, so you understand why Warren and Frank both wait impatiently for a solution.
Looking at this thing, it's going to be just really a wasted day.
Reporting downtown, I'm Brent Weisberg, KOIN 6 News.
Well, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals says it will not review a multi-million-dollar settlement between BPA and customers. Now, customers claim they were overcharged for electricity generated by Columbia River dams. The ruling means the settlement will stand, and that set new rates and terms for refunding overcharged customers. Bonneville Power Association estimates the value of that settlement to be about $2 billion over a 17-year period. It was challenged in court by a group of industrial companies that purchased BPA power from public utilities.
Well, residents of a Portland neighborhood say an epidemic of tire slashing and vandalism has become so bad they're considering hiring private security. For months, people living in inner southeast and northeast Portland have had tires punctured, convertible tops slashed, chunks taken out of motorcycle seats, adding up to $500,000 in damages. And they've sent a letter to the mayor and police chief asking for help to stop the vandalism.
The advice we get from the city is, well, in the middle of the night, if you happen to be up, look out on the street. And it just seems like the city can do a lot more than that and be proactive to try to catch these vandals.
Well, police say by the time residents usually discover the vandalism and report it, the suspects are long gone. Neighbors in the Ladd's Addition area are so frustrated they're now exploring hiring their own security.
Well, new at 5:30, people's changing dietary habits are causing Bob's Red Mill to expand. That company is opening a new world distribution center 2 miles from its existing location in Milwaukee. Now, Bob's has seen a rise in demand for its gluten-free products in recent years, and company officials say more people are trying to eat healthier and include whole grains in their diet. That expansion will allow for more production of both products.
And we are growing into a new 125,000 square foot distribution facility. So all the distributing that we do here will be moved over to the new warehouse so we can expand the production, our stone grinding of whole grain foods here at Bob's Red Mill.
That new facility is set to open in January, and Bob's does expect to add more staff along with it.
Still ahead, the cost of college tuition is on the rise, but a local university is taking an unprecedented move to try and keep freshmen out of unnecessary debt.
And it's the Olympic relay Blazers style, the statewide tour underway to kick off this year's season in Rip City.
Well, it's so beautiful outside right now, but coming up, I'm timing things out. And when I say things, I'm specifically talking about the rain that's back in the forecast. When it starts, coming up.
Tonight at 6, a KOIN 6 investigation, predatory towing. It's been banned in California and Washington. Oregon has laws to protect drivers too, but thousands of cars have been towed off lots just this year.
It's the business model itself that's the fault. They don't get paid unless they tow somebody's car.
Are local towing companies bending the rules? KOIN 6 investigates next at 6.
Traffic is extra heavy on the west side with delays all the way back to Murray. The average speed in the 30s there until it drops down to the 20s as you get closer to Sylvan. 29 minutes from Cornelius Pass to I-405. And again, it starts at Murray, so lots of slowing there inbound. Even a westbound delay if you're headed out to Hillsborough or know someone who is. It slows there at Murray. It picks up once you're at 185th. So that's the commute for you on the west side. Now take a look at 217 in the southbound direction. It starts to line up at Walker. It picks up at Denny. Northbound is lined up at 99W, and it stretches back onto I-5 northbound. You can see all those cars waiting on the left-hand side to merge onto 217. And then I-5 southbound is still delayed bumper to bumper from 217 down to the Lake Oswego exit. Here's I-5 through the curves. A lot of northbound slowing, and that continues through North Portland, as you can see at Delta Park. Traffic's also very heavy on I-84 on the way out to I-205. So eastbound traffic is the heaviest at the west end, and then you're going to find on and off slowing out to I-205. Over here on I-205 itself, the northbound commute is slow going approaching the Glen Jackson Bridge. Looks like we even have some southbound slowing approaching I-84. Back to you.
All right, thanks, Carly. Well, businesses in southwest Portland are on alert tonight.
Several of them have been broken into recently, and police still haven't found out who's responsible. More than a dozen burglaries have been reported just off Macadam Avenue in the South Portland neighborhood. Carla Castaño has more on that story tonight.
Restaurants seem to have been targeted the most. The thieves come in late at night or early in the morning, breaking into businesses like Elephant's Delicatessen. This popular deli is just one of several recent victims.
Cash as well as some other portable items were taken.
At PK Thai restaurant next door to Bamboo Grove Hawaiian Grill.
We were surprised. But then again, you know, we're in a neighborhood that you don't suspect stuff like that to happen, but when it does happen, it's like, okay, what do we need to do now? So we took the precautions. We have security here.
There have been 11 commercial burglaries in this area of South Portland in the last 4 months.
You walk into it, you've seen stuff all over the floor. It's like, okay, you immediately call the police.
And Francis Dew says not knowing who keeps burglarizing the restaurants is causing insecurity among workers.
You want to feel safe when you come to work, but in the back of your mind, especially if you're working nights, is it going to happen now? And if it does, what am I going to do?
The City of Portland's crime prevention specialist for the area sent out a notification email to the Neighborhood Association.
There had been an uptick in commercial burglaries in South Portland, notably restaurants, and I wanted the residents to know there is an opportunity for residents to look out for businesses and vice versa.
Meanwhile, restaurants in the area say they'll be taking extra security measures.
Crooks are crooks. They're going to do whatever they want to get what they need. And if they can get extra cash, they'll get the extra cash.
In South Portland, Carla Castaño, KOIN 6 News.
In news across the Northwest, a ballot initiative to label genetically modified food in Washington has become one of the most expensive campaigns in state history. Now, supporters and opponents of I-522 have spent $29 million combined. The group opposing the labeling has raised most of that, $22 million, which is a record for the most raised by an initiative campaign. The Grocery Manufacturers Association has given about $11 million of that. Now, since the No on I-522 ads started running 6 weeks ago, support for that initiative has dropped dramatically to within 4 points. Pollsters say that is too close to predict which way that one will turn out.
In Eugene, the city council has agreed to create 2 homeless camps on city-owned land. Each would be in the Train Song neighborhood and would be close to buses and other services that can help the homeless. Each will have space for 15 people and would be run by volunteers. Now, homeless advocates have been urging the council to create these camps for more than a year. They're also asking for another 2,000 affordable housing units to help solve the homeless problem.
Okay, on average, it takes a college student 5 to 6 years to get a 4-year degree, and that means a lot more debt. Well, now Portland State University is offering a way to cut down on that debt. Alicia Esch has the details.
We are here at PSU, and on average, Oregon State public students, 59% of them, in fact, are going to graduate in a 5 to 6 year period with $24,000 in debt. That's a very high number, so PSU officials have a solution to end that, at least for here. PSU does say that there are many things that cause student debt, but the length of time, again, is what's really a big issue. So they're guaranteeing that 4-year degree and that price tag for any new student at the university.
We're the first Oregon university to announce a 4-year degree guarantee. Here's how it works. Starting in fall 2014, entering full-time freshmen can sign an agreement to follow a 4-year degree path. If they stay on track, PSU guarantees they will have the courses and advising they need to graduate on time. If they stick to the plan but still don't finish in 4 years, then they will not pay tuition for any remaining required courses. Students will only pay for 4 years.
Again, this guarantee is exclusive to PSU, and they are the only Oregon public university offering this guarantee at this time. Now, just to put all this in perspective for you, here at PSU, they have about 30,000 students right now. So by these numbers, on average, about 15,000 of those students already have that $24,000 in debt. The hope of this guarantee is to lower that down completely, or at least help cut it back going forward. Reporting in downtown at PSU, Alicia Esch, KOIN 6 News.
And the guarantee part is partly on the students. They must maintain a 2.0 GPA and meet with an advisor.
You won't need them for the frost tomorrow morning, but beginning Friday, you can put studded tires on your vehicle. They're legal in Oregon and Washington November 1st through March. Transportation officials say, however, studded tires cause $40 million in damages to Oregon roads every year, and they encourage drivers to use change or traction tires when possible.
Now, the forecast with KOIN 6 Chief Meteorologist Bruce Sussman.
You know, I've done stories on those traction tires. It's amazing what they do now. They're virtually as good as studs. But anyway, all right, here's what's going on with the 24-hour forecast tonight. It is going to be a chilly one, cooling off quickly, 45 degrees at 9 o'clock, 42 at 11. Let's look ahead to tomorrow. We start sunny outside of a few patches of fog. And yes, scraping the old windshield could be a possibility again tomorrow morning with areas of frost. 46 and filtered sunshine at noon, and then it's a cloudy finish to the day and 55 degrees. Look at this right now. It is gorgeous. It's calm along the Columbia River, and it's 56. Beautiful live look across back at Vancouver. And now, from our KOIN camera, the top of the West Hills. Look at that. And the sun just right over the hill. So those of you in Washington County, you're capturing the sunlight now, and we're missing out on it here in downtown. 58 degrees, our current temperature, with a bit of a northwest breeze. Now, lows this morning, 20s and 30s across the metro area, 29 in Hillsborough, 30 in Scappoose. We were freezing officially in Portland. By far our coldest morning so far this year. Prior to today, Portland had not been colder than 40 for the morning lows this fall, I should say this fall. And temperatures east of the mountains were also cold. Nice rebound, though, on our highs into the 40s and 50s most places. Now, it's another clear, and that's going to set the stage for another cold night and cold morning tomorrow. So I think temperatures will be virtually identical to what we saw this morning. So if you were refreshed by our chilly air this morning, you're really going to love tomorrow morning. But high clouds will start filtering in, especially as the day goes on. There is some rain out here. It's not significant, but it does signal a shift in our weather patterns from away from all the sunshine. So there it is, 8 a.m. tomorrow in our rain and cloud forecast. Some high clouds. Otherwise, it's beautiful. Filtered sunshine at lunchtime tomorrow, and then we thicken up those clouds as the day goes on, and it's a cloudy commute home, but looking mainly dry. See a chance for some showers kind of getting in here towards the evening hours. Most of the rain, though, holds off until overnight and into early Thursday morning. This is Thursday at 8 a.m., so some of us will have a wet Thursday morning commute, but it's not too significant. This is a weak system, and here we are Thursday, 7 o'clock. As the trick-or-treaters head out, we're back to dry weather. In fact, I think we'll be dry even if your trick-or-treaters go out a little earlier than that. And something exciting happens this weekend. We get an extra hour of sleep. Remember remember to fall back early Sunday morning or set your clocks back before you go to bed on Saturday night. There are the new sunrise and sunset times. Boy, it's going to be getting dark even earlier than it already is. That's incredible. All right, turning cloudy tomorrow along the coast. Areas of afternoon rain, and in the valley will stay dry but clouding up. 32 for a morning low in Portland. We end up in the mid-50s tomorrow, so a couple degrees cooler than today. We had a few places push 60 east on the west side of town, rather, but that won't be happening tomorrow because of the extra clouds. Chilly start to the day. Areas of frost around the metro area, and those of you in Scappoose, probably 29 for a morning low, 57 for the high in Vancouver. And here's your 7-day forecast. Thursday, it's morning showers, and then it's dry for trick-or-treat. On Friday, mostly dry, but a chance of evening rain if the Saturday system gets here a little faster than expected, which is possible given how strong the storm track is right now. That looks like a breezy and wet system for us early on Saturday, and then that's going to drop the snow levels down to near the passes. So if you're traveling the Cascades this weekend, you'll want to keep an eye on the forecast because we're going to get some snow for the ski resorts.
But dry Halloween night, you think?
And you know what? That's really the most important thing out of the next week.
For all the parents who are going to be lugging around their kids.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like
no rain gear this year.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brenda.
Hey, up next, Rip City Relay. The ball for the first game is on a 5-day journey to the Moda Center, and you can join in. We'll tell you how when we come back.
A Texas woman says she's ready to serve time in jail in order to keep her pet pig. Shonda Cash has had this Vietnamese pot-bellied pig since it was young and it only weighed a few pounds. Well, you can see he's a big boy now. He's grown a lot since then. And Cash says a neighbor recently complained. It turns out, since their Texas home sits on less than an acre, the city says that pig is illegal. So Cash was ordered to pay a fine, but she says she simply can't afford it. She then missed a court date, and now she could face jail time.
Well, check this out. A brave surfer takes on a monster wave in order to save his friend. Carlos Burrell from Brazil saved the life of a fellow surfer after that giant wave left her unconscious. Surfers from around the world came to ride those waves. Some were as tall as 80 feet. Well, the Rip City Relay is currently underway.
Now, this relay is a kickoff to this year's home opener. It began this morning in Coos Bay. The game ball for the home opener against the San Antonio Spurs will be walked, jogged, and passed through stops from Coos Bay to the Moda Center finally in Portland. Now, several Trailblazer personalities are participating in different legs of the relay. Schools are also receiving special visits to promote healthy and active living. This relay will conclude with a celebration outside Moda Center around 5 p.m. on Saturday, right before tip-off. You can follow along at ripcityrelay.com.
Up next, a mother comes up with her own trick to get back at a pumpkin thief, and it's garnered her national attention.
A mother's reaction to a jack-o'-lantern thief in Washington, D.C. has now gone viral. Becky Reyna says her pumpkins were modeled after each member of her family. And when one was taken, she posted this special message to the crook.
Thank you for the life lesson. This will help teach him that sometimes people are mean for no reason, and you have to just brush it off.
Then the mom, since her 2-year-old son can't read yet, decided to lay down the hammer. calling the crook a name we can't say on TV. The sign's all over the internet, and while most assume Becky's husband wrote the sign, she's taking full credit.
Well, coming up tonight at 6, downtown Portland and a few local businesses found themselves in the middle of a lake this morning after a 100-year-old water main broke. And tonight, we're asking questions about the state of our aging infrastructure. And here's a look at what's ahead for you tonight on the CBS Evening News.